Don't forget to smile. It looks good on you.
Super FM. Good morning and welcome. This is 10:30 a.m. on the DOT. Now, if you've not been here for a while or you're not sure what we're doing, allow me to welcome you to our special radio series on ending female genital mutilation in Edo State. Good morning. My name is Joyce Chooks. This is your One Family, One radio station, Super 88.1 FM. Now, this special radio series on ending female genital mutilation in Edo State, or as you may know it, female circumcision, is brought to you by the Women's Rights and Health Project with support from UNICEF Nigeria. Now, we've been doing some very serious exercises the last couple of weeks. If you've missed some part of this conversation, it's okay. We are always willing to carry you along. Now, if you're one of those people who have told us you must continue this series for as long as possible, it must mean that you've been following us for a while. So let's lay out the facts. First of all, female genital mutilation is what many people call female circumcision or the cut. Now, it is called the cut because it involves the cutting off of the entirety or part of the external part of the female reproductive organ, the genitalia. It usually involves things like cutting off the entirety or part of the clitoris, and some may even go as far as the labia. Some also go as far as sewing up the opening of the vagina, leaving only a small part for the woman to pee. Now, female circumcision could happen to a child, a baby, within 1 month to 3 months. It could happen when these children get closer to adolescence, around the ages of 9 to 13 or 14. It could also happen when the woman is already married or about to marry as a part of a culture or a tradition. Now, while we respect and value African traditions as old as they come, this one has shown to have so many dangerous side effects for the people who have been affected. We've seen people come down with various infections, chronic pain, severe bleeding that could even lead to death. We've also seen the transfer of diseases like HIV and hepatitis B from person to person. We've also seen women who struggle in the delivery room because there is no enough space or opening for the child to come out. Some have urinary problems along the line. Some have urinary infections that could almost be lifelong. We also have women who struggle with it psychologically. Women who are ashamed to take off their clothes in front of people because they feel that they have been disfigured. They feel like they have been mutilated. They no longer have that confidence in themselves. And so many other side effects that have been recognized by UNICEF, by the World Health Organization, by government and health parastatals, including the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Justice here in Edo State. And we've been lucky enough to have people from those ministries be guests on this show. We've also had a space to speak to religious leaders. We've also had a space to speak to traditional leaders on the matter. But for many of the people who have been affected by female genital mutilation, in the beginning stage are usually young people, whether they are young women or their children. Today I'm joined by a special guest with me in the studio. She is a young woman and she wants to speak to us about the fight against female genital mutilation for young people. Good morning. I'd love to give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are.
Good morning, this morning. Hi, Madam Joyce. Nice to be here. My name is Rosemary, Osaromwenyeke. I'm passionate about this because, the young girls out there going through a lot that there's no voice for them. Nobody is speaking out for them. So it's actually something of concern because Nigeria as a whole, some persons don't even know that it's wrong to actually be circumcised as a female. So yes, I'm glad to be here. All
right, fantastic. Now, I want to look at the kind of work and advocacy that young people are doing. I've been able to speak to a number of people from different organizations, from different ministries and parastatals. But like I said, the people who suffered this, the immediate cause, are young people. So how are young people taking action against female circumcision?
Okay, so we believe that young people are the ones that actually get affected. So statistics shows that circumcision actually happens from 0 to 14 years. So within that window is actually not safe for any girl child who the parent or who has that belief that a girl child should be circumcised. So we're taking actions with these young people. We are engaging them. We're teaching them because they are the ones that are affected. So we get to, put them together in different communities. We've been, sensitizing them about educating them, telling them what female circumcision is. Do you understand? And also, because they are young, they are the change that we want to see. They are the ones that, will be the voice. We want that voice in every sector. So we engage them from the age of 10 and above in every class, the secondary schools, the SS, the universities. We just put them together, educate them, because knowledge is power. So if they have the right information, they will be able to be a voice. They will be able to stand up if they understand the concept of female circumcision, because it has no medical benefit. It has no health benefit. Actually, it has more of side effects. So if they come to understand this, we are so certain that yes, they will actually lend a voice to actually tell their parents, tell a friend, tell an acquaintance, be a voice in whatever space they find themselves to, actually speak up for these young people.
All right, fantastic. But, while you're doing this advocacy, I must know, have you or have young people been able to register some successes, some wins in this battle against female genital mutilation? And if yes, could you share a few of those with us?
Yes. So within our last encounters, because we get to, engage with these people, do some sensitization like every week. So in one of those encounters, some of them rather, we've had beautiful stories, but the one that really amazes me is the fact that they are actually ignorant of the fact that this act is wrong. So the success, I would say more of the success changes that we've seen is in their behavior. Like, they receive this message, they welcome it, so it changes their perception, changes their mindset. So that way they're able to push the drive, they're able to join us to also lend a voice. They volunteer also to lend their voices to, against this fight against genital mutilation.
Now, you mentioned going to schools. Tell me what that's like. Break down what you do when you get there, what kind of things the students are open to. Do they ask questions? What kind of questions are on their mind?
Okay, so when I say schools, I meant students in schools.
Yeah.
We don't go to their schools.
Okay.
So we send out people to help us gather young children, young people from the age of 10. Like I said, because like I said, the window of this circumcision to happen is within 0 to 14 years. So if we're able to, we go out there, we tell them to get us children within 10 years and above, like from the JSS, children in JSS to SS, so we gather them, like we can have them in numbers like 100, put them in a room and then give them this education, educate them on their rights, because it's female genital mutilation is actually a violation of their human rights. So we talk to them, we educate them on this, and also if they happen to know any, they let us know, or if you understand, we just rub minds, we share information, and yes, they actually ask intelligent questions. It has been an amazing journey. It has been amazing educating and talking to these young people. I myself, I'm also young, if I dare say that.
Please, by all means.
Yes. So, it has been an amazing experience, and when we're done with the classes, it's always eye-opening to them. It's always an eye-opener for them, So, and I'm sure that I see the passion in their eyes. I see them, they want to be part of the change that they want to see, because they know that it is wrong.
That's amazing. When you were speaking, you mentioned something about eye-opening. So I'm going to give you a personal question from me. Now, I believe it was either 2 or 3 years ago was when my eyes first got opened to the situation around female genital mutilation in Edo State. It was the day for the awareness of the eradication of female genital mutilation, the international holiday, and some members from our group, our newsroom here, decided to take a bit of a tour around Benin City to speak to the people around female genital mutilation, and that was the very first shock for me. There are some things that we discuss and people assume wrongly that these are things of the past, and I was one of those people previously. I'd assume that, FGM in this day and age would be ridiculous to even make mention of that. It would just be something that we had already swept under the carpet. Imagine my shock, the amount of responses we received both from men and women who emphatically explained that they not only do they support female circumcision, female genital mutilation, that they were actively a part of the people who were doing it, and they were going to make sure that their children were also going to be participants. And then we went a step further when the special radio series happened or started, and then we started getting different calls and messages of people who say, yes, we do it till this day. And then I started speaking to people I know in real life, and some of them were like, oh yes, when I got married or when I had my first daughter, or my mother-in-law or my father-in-law called me to say that, oh, we are ready to go and do the female circumcision. And some will say, oh, I stood my 10 toes ground. I decided my child will not going to happen. When they say, oh, nice. We are still having the fight till now with my family members, with my this, with my that. So I'm saying, oh, it was even like, oh, my wife from a different state. It was from her own mother in her own state that told me to bring my children. And I realized that I had been putting my head in the sand for no reason, because this thing was rife. And that was the biggest shock to me. Now, why did I give you this entire preamble? In your work in fighting female genital mutilation, what has been the most surprising thing that you've come across?
Madam Joyce, if I take this personal, funny, when we started this whole project, so I started to engage some of my friends. Imagine my shock when I realized that a particular friend of mine, a male actually, he should be in his 30s, he said it so proudly and openly in that meeting, in that gathering, and he said a girl child is supposed to be circumcised. I was shocked. Like, I did not even know.
Because this is a young man.
I'm telling you, I didn't even know it was a thing in my own circle. I was like, what? It took a lot of discussion. Like, thank God I was not the only one there to actually convince him otherwise. Because from what he was saying, he was so ready. He felt he also was operating from a point of ignorance, because he thought as a male he was circumcised, so a girl child should also be circumcised. And I asked him, was your sister circumcised? He said he didn't ask because he thought it was a normal thing. So we had to engage in that discussion, and I'm sure I'm still following up with him, because me and that guy, I will hold him to his words, because definitely I would say that was the most shocking thing for me, to find out that a guy of this age and time still believes that a girl child should be circumcised. I mean, his child is not in trouble in Jesus' name, because I will hold him accountable.
If you've just joined us, you're on to our very special radio series on ending female genital mutilation in Edo State, brought to you by the Women's Rights and Health Project with support from UNICEF Nigeria. Now, we are looking at ending female genital mutilation from the point of view of young people here in Edo State who are still dedicated to the fight and dedicated to the struggle. Now, I have a guest with me. Her name is Rosemary, and Rosemary has been fantastic thus far. Now, if you have questions and thoughts you want to send across, you can WhatsApp us on this number, 0902 672 2592. Now, if you'd rather send these thoughts via phone call, in a couple of minutes, the phone lines will be officially open and you can share your thoughts. Now, let's still looking at what young people are doing, looking at the space that you've been speaking to. I love all you've said, the forums that you've created, the education that you've provided. But I must imagine that you also feel that young people should and can do more. What more would you love to see when it comes to advocacy from young people?
In this age and time, we agree that social media is a very big influence on young people. So for me personally, I feel like for every post you make, like, utilize your social media for this particular project, because this is a big deal. That's 2 MB, that stuff that you use on your IG, your TikTok, WhatsApp. Use that same platform as you're using it to engage in dances and all that. Use that same platform to talk about something that actually means something to someone, something that is this crucial. I mean, truth be told, this is actually a very crucial matter. So if in any way you can contribute to it, I don't see any reason why you should not. So for every time, whoever you need to talk to, your parents, like, be the gap between, some persons are close to their family. They may not even know that it happens in their own family, but if you happen to have this information, you are educated about this, and then you get to talk to your own parents about it, I'm sure you've already started a change. You're already part of the voices that we are talking about. So if you can engage it on your social media, that's actually one thing that I'm really looking forward to with our young people, that the time they use to consume on the consumption on social media, if they can actually still use part of that time to talk about this, be part of the change that we want to see. I mean, that would actually be a beautiful thing for us.
Fantastic stuff. Now, let's look at youth inclusion. Now, a few weeks ago on one of my shows, I spoke about the Sit for Women campaign that has been happening. Now, when I spoke about this campaign, the bill had already passed the second reading at the time, and what the bill was seeking to do was to create exclusive seats for women in the National Assembly, both at the Senate and the House of Reps. Now, the reason behind this seats is that we need to create a space for women inclusion in conversations at the top. So let's look at youth inclusion in conversations at the top. Do you think we need to see more youth inclusion? What will youth inclusion look like to you if the day comes for you to say, yes, I am seeing enough youth inclusion at the top for conversations around female genital mutilation?
It will really be a beautiful thing to see. I'm so glad that in our talk with the young ones, we get to include the male, because even there are families that they just have boy child, so they feel like consign them. But then you have a cousin, you have a friend, sister, so you are still part of the people that we are looking for. Do you understand? So I feel like if we get more youth involved in decision making, involved in how we make decisions and take actions, it gives them a sense of responsibility. It makes them feel seen. It makes them know that yes, they are seen and they are heard. So it's actually a beautiful thing to see, and it's a welcome development if honestly they actually take us seriously this time.
Fantastic stuff. So in what spaces would you like to see more young people? Should we save seats for young people in the assembly the way we're trying to save seats for women? Or, what kind of spaces would you like to see young people being included more?
In any, I feel like everybody, if you can engage a young person in any conversation, in any space that you feel that person will be of value, you just get to know the person and then know what the person is passionate about, and then see where that person fits in. I mean, whatever circle it is, it's actually it will be a beautiful thing to see.
All right. If you're still here with us, we are on to our special radio series for ending female genital mutilation in Edo State, and we're looking at the role young people are playing, can play and will play in the fight against female genital mutilation. We had a concerned Nigerian citizen here speaking on behalf of young people. She has spoken to us about her own advocacy. She has told us about the kind of things she has seen while in service. Heck, the things she has seen within her own circle that makes her resolve even stronger that young people must be included in these talks, and we must build youth inclusion when it comes to ending female genital mutilation. As promised, the phone lines will officially be made open. You can call in, you can share your thoughts, you can ask questions, you can bring to our notice an activity that you have seen at some point that you think RAP should be aware of, or UNICEF Nigeria should be aware of. The numbers to call are these: 0705 512 9881, 0705 572 7881. For WhatsApp and also an additional call line, the number is 0902 672 2592. I'll call that number again. You should save it if you like to WhatsApp me, but you can also call the number 0902 672 2592. So you can call either of these numbers. If you have a question you'd love to ask, we'd love to welcome that question. If you have a comment you'd love to drop, that's fantastic. If you want to add something to the conversation, especially if you're a young person, this space is perfectly for you. Or if there's something you think that RAP should know about, something happening in your city, in your town, in your area, on your street, would love to hear it as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I'm calling from Mission Road.
You've become a regular caller on this show.
Yes, I have an interest.
Okay.
But because I have having children about 30 years ago, but my grandchildren are just coming. So that is why I have interest. You know, before I said I love that tradition. Based, I've lived in the area. We enjoy the Rasmata's Onyugbo. But this time around, I've told you that I've changed because what is constant in life will change. Then I now remember again one of the things when we were growing up, our sister sibling, our female sibling, once they have that circumcision, for 1 week or thereabout, we don't sleep at home. Cry every time. Especially once we feel then we let loose. So I think then for the adults, they will tell them to be in isolation and until it heals, which means that person will be unproductive for a very long time. So these are but for legislation, I don't think that will fly because based on the type of people we are, they will tell you now that won't be our problem. So let them begin to campaign, use media to sensitize people on the ills or evil of female circumcision, and then also use the churches because they believe pastors more than any other group or any other person. Use the churches. I think that will fly very well than legislation. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you and God bless. Well, it's already illegal, so this is even beyond legislation. There are many laws in different states, including the VAP law, the fight against it. So, I think we're on the right path there. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Joyce.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. This is Peter from Mondo.
All right, talk to us, Peter.
Okay. This genital mutilation system, I think we're supposed to use radio to talk about this, and then let our message focus on the men. Because when the men says no, there's not anybody can do about it. But can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Because when I want to have our first baby, so they were talking about this separation. So to me, I just reason, okay, I say, women want to born. Okay, and they couldn't do circumcision on top. Because of that, I say no. I'm not going to, I will not allow. Will you disturb anything during death? If I did not circumcise her, they said no. And then I asked her, so what is not in me? So let us be like that. And I'm lucky that I didn't accept it. And even now, I'm even being an advocate. So if I see where person for born, and they teach the road because they demand, and then not let them exercise it for video. And they not let one.
Thank you so much.
So we'll continue to use the church, they will continue to use the radio, to speak to the heart of the men. Now the men, I get the final answer for this thing. If the man say no, you know circumcise my daughter. Nobody will come say one come down on your behalf.
True. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. Much appreciated. The part of the call I really enjoyed when he said that he also goes on a one-man campaign against female genital mutilation. And from our earlier call, if you remember, that I said he had become a regular. The first time that he had called and showed his support for female genital mutilation. And a few episodes after, he came and said, you know what, you have convinced me that this is improper, and I will now stand for it. That's how we convince one person, two people. Before you know, we are spreading the gospel of ending female circumcision. The change starts with you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome. What is your name and where are you calling us from, please?
My name is Rosemary, calling from Palmyra.
All right, talk to us.
When you first brought up this topic, I was like, what were you hoping to achieve? Like, I was just, this thing is now holding this thing, like, it has passed, like, it's not raining again. It's already under the carpet. So when I saw responses from first callers, I saw some other callers where they were saying about tradition and all those. I was like, that old practice, they're still practicing it now. I don't know. How are people so heartless? You just take knife now. Carry petty picking now. Oh God, oh my God. Some people are very heartless. You just carry petty picking now, you just be caught. Jesus.
They're doing it to their own children, actually. It's not even more than a person picking. This is the parents that are doing it to their own children. It's interesting, isn't it?
Wow.
Thank you for calling
us. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, it's because it's really shocking. I mean, listening to our second caller, listen to Obiema when he called and he said that when he would notice these young girls had been circumcised, and then you would see that they would be crying for weeks and weeks because they were in so much pain. Now, the third caller is saying, how would you do this to a child? And it's something that really bothers me. Have you ever had an open sore before that you had to go and be dressing at the hospital? Do you know the pain? Last year, December, I had this very stubborn boil that refused to go. And after taking all the medication, I eventually went to the hospital myself. And they had to drain out the boil at that time because it has grown so big. And then I had to come every 2 days for dressing. It was one of the most painful weeks of my life. Then I imagined that they were infants that were going through this for no just cause. It's so worrisome. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
My name is Ed. I'm calling from Bloom.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, I want to ask a question and also add to it.
Okay.
Okay, what I want to add is this. In the Bible, God said to Moses that if you circumcise his son and every other children is giving birth to, that he circumcise them. God did not say that he circumcised daughters. He said sons.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I don't think circumcising a male child is a bad thing, like what the third caller just said just now. I don't think it's a bad thing because God said it in the Bible.
Yeah, for the male children. Yeah. So we're talking about women now, girls.
Girls, I don't think it is possible.
It's possible to circumcise girls. It has been happening. That's the problem. And I love that you're seeing it this way. You're thinking to yourself that circumcising women, girls, it does not seem like something that is possible. But unfortunately, it's happening. That's why we're having this conversation. You know, you're as worried as we are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. She said,
I want to ask a question.
Please go ahead.
Can you circumcise a male child after 5 years or above?
Yes, you can. In some societies back in the day, it was a rite of passage into manhood. So they would do it for boys that were just starting puberty or, leaving adolescence or entering into adolescence. So around like between 9 and 14 years old. But that was a while back. And in some Asian cultures across Africa, they still do it as a part of initiation into manhood. But for health reasons and for religions that practice it, it is usually done when the man is an infant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your question. Our time is far spent, so I'm going to go circle back. I felt like I was in class just now, but I won't give assignments. Thank you for calling me. And on a day we're talking about the impact and the kind of work that young people are doing to end circumcision, we had so many young people still call us, like this young girl. You can tell that she's quite young from her voice, but she said, you know what, let me also share my thoughts. And that is the kind of work that advocacy does across age groups, across generations. To our guest, Rosemary, any closing thoughts for today's conversation?
I'm so grateful for the callers that called in, the 3 men and this young girl. You can tell that yes, they are actually passionate, like they are convinced that female genital mutilation is wrong, and I am so sure that these people are a voice in their own space, and that's a beautiful thing to see. So the more people we see, so that's to tell you that the advocacy we're doing, the sensitization we're doing is working, and so we will keep pushing, we will keep fighting. If we cannot fully eradicate it, till we are able to fully eradicate it, we will still keep on pushing to say no to cutting our girls.
Thank you so much. And to our friends and partners at RAP, if you'd love to reach them out for any kind of information, get in touch with them via these phone numbers: 0701 194 8577 or 0913 520 5119, or find them on socials at RAP Nigeria. RAP is WRAHP. My name is Joyce Shooks. This is your One Family, One radio station, Super 88.1 FM. We're back again on Thursday on our special radio series on ending female genital mutilation in Nigeria, brought to you by RAP in partnership